100.
9 miles per hour. It should go partly sunny skies. 71. At Dulles Airport, cloudy. Temperature 76 degrees. Wind south at 10 miles an hour. At Fredericksburg, partly sunny. Temperature 81. At Martinsburg, light rain is falling. 72. Wind southeast at 3 miles an hour. At Norfolk, fair. Temperature 86 degrees. At Ocean City, clear skies. It was 75 degrees. At Pawtucket Naval Air Station, cloudy. Temperature 78. At Quantico, haze was recorded. Temperature 77. For Richmond, rain was falling. 78. Ford, cloudy. Temperature 75 degrees. At Winchester, fair. Temperature 72. At New York, clear skies. 76. At Philadelphia, light rain and fog. 73. At Raleigh, partly sunny skies. 90. Now for a few observations on the waters. At Washington Channel, the wind was out at 4 knots, and the water temperature was 75 degrees. At Piney Point, the wind was southeast at 7 knots. Here is a look at the weather features that will affect the region over the next several days. Daily shower and thunderstorm chance to continue through Friday as a slow-moving tropical zone just from the west. This cold front is likely to cross through the area late Thursday into Friday morning. The front will stall south and east of the area this weekend, leading to lingering shower chances across southern portions of the forecast area. By early next week, high pressure builds over eastern Canada while an area of disturbed weather near the Bahamas lifts upward into the western Atlantic. Now for the official National Weather Service forecast for the Washington metro area and the surrounding KHB listening area. Rest of this afternoon, cloudy with a chance of showers with a slight chance of thunderstorms. Highs in the upper 70s. South winds around 5 miles an hour. Chance of rain 50%. Tonight, cloudy with a chance of showers with a slight chance of thunderstorms. Lows in the upper 60s. South winds around 5 miles an hour. Chance of rain 50%. Thursday, showers likely. A chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon. Highs around 80. South winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Chance of rain 70%. Thursday night, a chance of thunderstorms until midnight. Mostly cloudy with a chance of showers. Lows in the mid-60s. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming west after midnight.
What up, guys? Can you guys see is that the Capitol Church in front of us? I know there's a few bridges, but look. So, okay, look to the left, right. Now, pretty sure you can see that on the screen. Is that the Capitol Church? What are those three massive gold steeples? Okay, there's a fourth gold steeple behind, or there's 5 gold steeples, 6 gold steeples. I think there are 6 golden steeples. What is that? If anyone knows, please put it in the chat.
40% chance of showers.
I think I've seen that church before, but I didn't know you could see it so visibly from the highway.
Hazardous weather outlook is for the Maryland portion of the Chesapeake Bay.
I'm not sure if we're going to get another better view of it. I don't think so, but we might. No, I don't think we will.
Special warning may be needed for this evening into tonight. May is 2 through 7, Thursday through Tuesday. No hazardous weather is expected at this time. Further information statement. Further activization is not expected at this time. Now for the National Weather Service forecast for the Chesapeake Bay from Sandy Point to Long Beach. Waves less than 1 feet. Electrical showers with a slight chance of thunderstorms. This will be 1.1 mile or less. Tonight, south is 5 to 10 miles. Waves, a chance of showers with a slight chance southeast.
The other side of the highway going
Southeast wind 5
north is
waves
packed. I guess this is the way to go. I was a little hesitant to drive this time in the DC area, but I mean, so far so good, right? I was in a little traffic right before the stream started, but it wasn't for too long.
Thursday, south wind 5 knots. Waves 1 showers likely storms. Wind and wave higher visibility between the new storms. The Northern Virginia mountain forecast for elevation 2,000 feet, including the Skyline Drive. Rest of this afternoon, cloudy. A chance of showers with slight thunderstorms. Highs in the lower 70s. Tonight, cloudy. Thursday, storms. Thunderstorm. High in the lower 70s.
Kirby, Kirby, Kirby!
Then a chance of showers after midnight. Lower 60s. Friday, mostly cloudy. Highs in the lower 70s. Saturday.
Ooh, the other side is
A
nasty.
chance of showers.
Bumper to bumper to bumper to bumper.
Highs in the upper 60s. Sunday, mostly cloudy. A chance of showers. Lows in the upper 50s. Highs in the upper 60s. This is the new weather radio on
Nasty.
Hazardous station KHB 36, broadcasting from the
Man, you can really see it now. Look to the left.
Sterling, Virginia, and transmitting
That's wild, that
frequency
sucks.
of 162.5
God bless you guys.
hertz from an antenna located in Manassas, Virginia. The 5 p.m. observation in Washington. At Reagan National Airport, cloudy skies. The temperature was 79 degrees Fahrenheit, or 26 degrees Celsius. Winds were south at 3 miles an hour. Barometric pressure was 29.96 inches, or 1,014.5 millibar, and falling. Now for some observations from the surrounding area. At BW and Marshall Airport, fog was reported. Temperature 74. Wind speed at 9 miles an hour. In Charlottesville, partly sunny skies. 76. At Dulles Airport, cloudy. Temperature 76 degrees. Wind south at 10 miles an hour. At Fredericksburg, partly sunny. Temperature 81. At Martinsburg, light rain was falling. 72. Wind southeast at 3 miles an hour. At Norfolk, fair. Temperature 86 degrees. At Ocean City, fair skies. It was 75 degrees. At cloudy. Temperature 78. At Quantico, haze was reported. Temperature
Quantico.
77. Winds calm. For Richmond, rain was falling. It was 78. For Roanoke, cloudy. Temperature 75 degrees. At Rochester, fair. Temperature 72. At New York, fair skies. 76. At Philadelphia, with light rain and fog. 73. At Reading, partly sunny sky.
Tons and tons of big turns on this road.
Observations on the waters. At Washington Channel, the wind was out at 4 knots, and the water temperature was 75 degrees. At Piney Point, the wind was southeast at 7 knots. The current time is 5:32 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Here is a look at weather features that will affect the regions of the day.
There's just tons and tons of big turns. Slow down. Oh, it's the bus. Of course it was the bus. I was having a talk about someone about bad bus drivers earlier today, so of course that happens.
By early next week, high pressure flows over eastern Canada while an area of disturbed weather near the Bahamas will report in. Predict. Now for the official National Weather Service forecast for Washington metro area.
So we are in the Washington, D.C. area, guys, and I'm just having a ball. I guess I got mine with this traffic. I was making fun of the other side. Well, here this side is also red lines, and you know, I knew what would happen, so I was kind of making fun. I mean, there's no way you're getting out of the D.C. area without traffic.
Lows in the upper 60s.
I had no illusions,
Rain 50%.
even if it did look clear.
Shower likely. A chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon. Highs around 80. South winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Chance of rain 70%.
I'm honestly not sure if the other route I usually take would have been quicker or not, because
Lows in the mid 60s.
it would have been moving, but I'm not sure the mileage difference. I didn't do
after midnight. Chance of rain 50%.
the mileage difference, etc.
Mostly cloudy. Highs around 80. Lows in the lower 60s.
I honestly have no problem being in this right now.
Highs in the mid 60s.
I'm just gonna try to find a good lane and then just chill there. This is not that lane.
Sunday through Monday, mostly cloudy with the chance.
But we do have to get off this road in a bit, and we're not going to be on a solid road for any really amount of time for a while.
Mostly cloudy. A 40% chance of showers. Highs in the lower 70s. Lows in the mid 50s. This hazardous weather outlook is for the Maryland portion of the Chesapeake Bay.
Can't chill just yet.
And 99. Virginia and District of Columbia. Day 1, tonight. Special marine warnings may be needed over this evening and tonight. Day is through Thursday through Tuesday. No hazardous weather is expected at the Spotter information statement. Spotter activation.
Where are all these cars going?
The
I honestly marvel at it sometimes. Not like at rush hour times, but like they're going home, hopefully, you know? But like in the middle of the night, like where are you going? I mean, I get like a very small percentage of people are going to work in the middle of the night, unless you live in a city. I don't know. It's just something I wonder about. Obviously, I see a lot of it.
Chance of showers with definitely thunderstorms. Visibility 1 nautical mile or less. Stay south wind and nothing. Waves 1 foot. Thunderstorms. Visibility 1 mile or less. Night. Southwest winds 5 to 10 knots. Waves 1 foot. Showers with the chance of thunderstorms. Friday. Winds around 5 knots. Or less. A chance of showers in the morning. Winds and waves high. Visibility for inland storms. For the national forecast. It's on the bridge to point. Wave less than 1. A chance of showers. Visibility or less.
Oh, is that a fact?
To 10 knots. Waves 1 foot. A chance of visibility 1 or less. Thursday to 10 knots. Waves 1 foot. A chance of showers and thunderstorms. Visibility 1 knot or less. Thursday night, southwest winds 5 to 10 knots. Waves 1 foot. Shower likely with a chance of thunderstorms. Waves 1 foot. Winds and waves higher and visibility lower inland near thunderstorms. The Northern Virginia mountain forecast for elevation, including the Skyline Drive. Rest of this afternoon, cloudy. A chance of showers with light chance of thunderstorms. Highs in the lower 70s. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Chance of showers with light chance of thunderstorms. Lows in the 50s. Thursday, a slight chance of thunderstorms in the morning. Showers likely. Chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon. Highs in the lower 70s. Thursday night, mostly cloudy. Likely a chance of thunderstorms in the evening. Then a shower midnight. In the lower 60s. Friday, mostly cloudy. Highs in the lower
We're in rush hour traffic in Washington, D.C. on America's East Coast right now. We're on the I-495. That is Interstate 495. And this is basically the definition, the very definition of gridlock. I haven't been in some traffic like this in a while, so I really don't mind. Most of my traffic experience in the truck has been in the Los Angeles area, so it's kind of funny that I'm on the other coast experiencing the same thing. I've noticed I've been a lot more reactive lately in traffic with cars and trucks alike. Not necessarily alike, but more so than usual. I wonder if I'm just like getting really tired of this. I'm not sure. What I mean by that is like just cars and trucks driving badly. Sometimes it's wild being amongst all these cars in the truck. Sometimes not, but it's just, I don't know. It's just crazy how many freaking cars are on the highway. When I'm off the truck, when I finally get off the truck, and I'm not sure, I'm not gonna even talk about that right now. I mean, like, when that is and why that is, etc. I am going to live so close to my work, it is incredible. Like, I hope to be able to throw a foot. No, I mean, not that close, but honestly, within a mile. And I know a lot of people don't have that luxury, but that is something that is important to me, to live really close to my work. Because commutes, I think commutes are like one of the biggest killers for people's like life satisfaction and happiness. Some people commute 2-3 hours a day each way for 4, 5, 6 hours a day. Like, that's incredible. The amount of life you're just wasting away in your car, or in your car and then the train and then another train, etc., or a car and then a bus, then a train. It's just incredible to me. So, yeah, within a mile, I'll within a mile of my work, and that'll be it. And that's not a pipe dream at all. Pretty much most of the places I've lived really close to my work. So that will be the goal. Just 'cause I can't imagine commuting like these people. Obviously, I drive for a living right now, but I don't know. I just would not want to ever commute like some of these people do, or most of these people do, I guess. These lanes are a little tighter than they usually would be. I've noticed that. I'm not trying to disparage any of you guys that might commute to and from work. That's just not me. I want to be able to walk, ride my bike to work every single day, just back and forth. No car involved whatsoever. I know that's funny. That's probably funny for some of you to hear someone who drives a truck for a living say, but while I might be able to operate many different types of vehicles, I don't necessarily want to operate that many types of vehicles. It's just something that I fell into, and yeah, I'm not mad about it, but it's just something I definitely fell into. I used to race cars, so I guess that's a little bit of it, but I used to race bicycles, and I used to race cars. So I guess when I was looking for something, for a job to make like steady, good money, this was an obvious choice. This traffic is incredible, right? This is like insane. This is insane traffic. The ridiculously sadistic person that I am, I can imagine myself like missing this at points when I get off the truck one day. It's just, I don't know, it's a sight to behold, and I'm not exaggerating that point, I don't think. Looks like the top of a stadium. It can't be a stadium because it's just too tall. If you want to see an Amish person on a bike, that's a really funny sentence. If you want to see an Amish person on a bike, go to the stream from earlier today. I'm not sure if it's posted yet. You know what? It's probably not even processed. But if you remember, like tomorrow, YouTube takes a long time to process streams, especially if they're 2 or 3 hours. Anyway, the Amish stream, I titled it Pennsylvania Amish Country, I believe. Like if you go to the very beginning of that stream, you'll be able to see an Amish woman on a bicycle, if that's your thing. I also have footage of an Amish guy in a horse-drawn carriage. I'm going to put that on shorts later. I wasn't streaming when I took that footage. That's unfortunate. I didn't know you could take trucks in the easy pass lane here. Oh, I totally would have. In most places you can't, so I don't even think of it. Oh man. And you know, in Dallas you could take any freaking lane you want as long as you pay for it. And I love taking the easy pass or toll lanes, like the express toll lanes in Dallas in the truck. It just seems, I don't know, it's a lot of fun for me. Gotta get you where you're fun where you can when this is what you do for work. If there's an entrance to the toll lane coming up, then we will be in the toll lane. Because SCREW this. I'm not sure if that would be prudent. We have to get off of this road in 8.9 miles. I had no idea you could take the toll line here in a truck. I think I've been in a truck on this road, like, this is the second time. This might be the first time on this particular road. I generally avoid this area. I've been in a car on this road. But that doesn't count for anything at this point. Driving a car is like sleeping for me these days, so that doesn't count. For your reference, guys, objects are closer than they appear on the video. So these cars are all closer than they might appear on the video. I've noticed that. I thought that was interesting. And for those of you who aren't familiar, on rear view mirrors on like passenger and usually the driver's side mirror of cars, there used to be a little sticker that said objects may be closer than they appear. So I was like playing on those words by saying that the objects you see in the video are actually closer than they appear. So that sticker would be true. So I think the sticker said objects may be closer than they appear. That's what the sticker said, not the other way around. And objects are closer than they appear in the video. Sorry for going in such a rant, but I just thought it was interesting and kind of funny. That movie where Russell Crowe like goes nuts and kills everyone because his family is slighted. What? Where is that located? Is that in DC? Is that in the DC area? Or is that like someplace random like Minneapolis? I feel like at one point in that movie he's in a lot of traffic, and it seems similar to what's in front of me right now. what you guys see before you is literally 7 lanes of traffic. 7 freaking lanes of traffic. Wow. Total going this way at the moment, there are 9 lanes of traffic. miles on this road, and then we're getting on the I-95 South again for the day. We haven't been on it yet this stream, but we were on it in the last stream earlier in the day before I took a break. 666, the sign of the beast. That's how many miles I have left on this trip. That's how many miles we have left on this trip. 666. Not to talk too much shit, but you should generally stay away from trucks when you're driving a car on the road. But I have an additional warning for you. See this guy on my right, the Amazon trailer? Again, I mean, not to talk shit, but stay very far away from Amazon trailers. The guys that drive these trailers are some of the worst drivers on the roads, bar none. I see more Amazon trailers in ditches than any other truck, and this is like by far no contest. Stay the hell away from Amazon trailers, please. Those guys, I mean, they drive recklessly, they're always in a rush, and they're always in a ditch. Just stay away from them for your health and your well-being. I've never said anything like that before. This is a true fact. I have nothing against Amazon, but the guys who drive Amazon trailers are the most horrible drivers on the road on average. If you're ever wondering why your package didn't make it to your house, it's because the Amazon trailer is in a ditch. Drinking iced coffee. When I took a break, I did not get out of the truck. I got out of the truck, but I did not go buy coffee somewhere. Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, or the truck stop. I have iced coffee in the truck. I just poured some in a water bottle and put the water bottle in the freezer so that it is true iced coffee. And that's what I'm drinking right now, along with some water. I generally drink coffee and water all day long. Once in a while I have a soda. I only have a soda when it comes with like a fast food meal, and even then, some of the time, I'm not going to say all the time, but some of the time, I ask for a bottle of water instead of the soda. I'd rather drink water instead of soda all the time, but you know, humans are weak, so there you go. that clicking you hear is my hazards. I put those on when there's a lot of traffic up ahead so that people behind me slow down. Or at least so they think about slowing down. I can't control them, so hopefully they're slowing down. What up, Tino, NG, Alfonso? If I said that wrong, I'm sorry. I barely looked at the screen. Yeah, if you see that Amazon trailer on the left, he is tailgating the car in front of him by inches. Saying less than a foot is a little crazy, but he's tailgating that car by inches. Please stay. I'm sorry. I'll try to make this the last time I say this on the stream today. But please stay the hell away from Amazon trailers. They are usually driven by absolutely batshit insane, horrible drivers. And I don't say things like that lightly. I really don't, I promise. Yeah, you'll be able to see how close he's tailgating that car to an extent right now. He backed off a little, but he's approaching again. He's making sure. I think he's just trying. Maybe that's like the Amazon way. You just keep a foot away from the car in front of you. I don't know. Sorry, not sorry. It's really fun to talk shit when it's true. When something's not true, then it's probably like not proper to talk shit, but when it's absolutely true, then why not? doing 17 glorious miles an hour right now. I just want to tell you guys. I just thought some of you might be jealous. That's the only reason. Trying to figure out if I can make it to this big truck stop in North Carolina. It's far, but it would be worth it. Because there's a lot of parking, plus I can get Starbucks in the morning. That would be a nice treat. park for like 2 seconds on the highway because there's some messages that came through. And I can't read them unless the truck is in park, but I can safely put it in park for like 2 seconds right now. Don't do that at home, kids. I just wanted to read my messages, and yeah. Normally I wouldn't even stop in traffic like this, but what I mean is like break to a stopping point, so I could just flow. What up, guys? What up? Am I there? Am I where? I'm on the road, headed to Atlanta, either tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. This is wild. 7 p.m. Okay. So it's 1900 on the East Coast, which means it's 1 a.m., right? It's 1 a.m. in Britain. 0100 GMT, guys. I know my UK peeps are watching. Someone confirm it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Maybe you guys aren't watching. Hopefully you're in bed. Hopefully you're asleep. If you're not asleep, I hope you're in bed. And I hope you're screwing your brains out with your loved one. That's what I hope for you. Out of the darkness. Get it. Drive better, drive better. There's someone glued to my rear bumper. I think they're in the Fast and Furious movie. Not exactly sure. It's a white BMW, if you guys are wondering. I don't think it's an M2 or an M1. It's probably like a 328. I guess I'm just going by laws of average there. Plus, I feel like M1, M2 drivers are probably better drivers, though that might not be true. But on average, they might be. pretty chill. I'm a little tired. I'm good to work, good to drive. But I'm feeling pretty chill at the moment, so I might not talk as much as I do. Might not talk to you guys as much as I do normally. We'll see. This is like, we're going into the 5th hour of streaming for the day right now. There was a stream earlier today. If you want to see an Amish woman on a bicycle, watch the stream from earlier today. It's probably not processed yet, but it'll be up later tonight or tomorrow morning. I know that's a really funny thing to say, but it's true. I'm talking about the Amish woman on the bicycle, of course. The sentence, not the fact that the woman was riding a bicycle. Right ahead of us. They did fly by, but they slowed down markedly since. She is not wearing much clothing, and I don't mean in the way that... Jesus, shut up, truck. I don't mean in the way that she is wearing something sexy. She's just not wearing enough clothes to protect her from a potential crash. There's some kind of cop coming up here on the left. Okay. Now I see what the reflection is. There's a tow truck with spare windshield lights on. All that sign said was disabled vehicle ahead. The flashing sign. What's up, everyone? We just entered Virginia. Someone got stopped by the police. The Poporia. I think it might have been. Could have been a double stop. Could have been an accident. Has anyone ever got double stopped? What I mean is, like, has a cop car ever pulled you and another car over? It's kind of a skillful maneuver. I've seen it a couple times. Saw him thinking about it. I didn't think he was going to do it, and then he did it. No reason for it. He's going slow. Everyone's cutting me off now. Sorry guys, I can't read the comments while I'm driving, but I will read them on a break and respond then or during the drive after. And if I don't take a break during the stream, I'll read them. I'll read them before I go to bed and reply the next day. So talking about bed, I do live on the truck, so I do sleep behind the driver's seat and the passenger seat. There is a bed, just a single bed. I have a fridge, pretty good sized fridge that works really well. A microwave, a bunch of shelves and cabinets for my belongings, clothes, books, instruments, etc. But other than that, I mean, I'll explain a little bit about that another time. But if you have any questions about any of that, just leave them in the comments and I'll answer them on break or the next day. This truck I'm passing right now has two trucks on his bed. He has a dump truck and then a tractor in the front part, which is the front part of a semi-truck. Number one piece of driving advice this evening is don't let people on the road intimidate you. That is easier said than done, and I'll get more into detail on that in the future, but just think about that statement. Don't let people on the road intimidate you. Like this beautiful Amazon driver coming up on my right to pass me should have done it on the left, especially since that car is close. But it's just like a beautiful example of what I was saying earlier. These guys are really dangerous drivers. There was a scandal a couple months in El Paso, Texas. So the guys hauling frac sand, that's the sand they use for oil fracking. A lot of the guys guys and girls, there was both of them, that were hauling frac sand had fake CDL licenses, counterfeit CDL licenses. What they found out, well, okay, technically the CDL licenses were real, like they were issued by the DMV, by the state of Texas. However, the people that held those licenses got them illegally. They paid $5,000 a piece to a DMV employee in El Paso, Texas, to obtain their CDL license. And the way they found out is that all these, not all of them, but a great deal of these drivers that obtained their license illegally out of the El Paso DMV in Texas were getting into crashes like all over the place on the road. So they investigated and found out that none of them had had any training in a truck whatsoever, and they quite literally obtained their CDL in Texas by paying a DMV employee $5,000 for the license. Look it up if you want to. It's an interesting story, considering like the safety ramifications and all the crashes that happened because of that one DMV employee selling licenses to people that couldn't drive a truck for $5,000 a piece. truck on the side of the road here, but I can't get over because someone's on my left side. So, sorry, buddy. to some of his comments. Let's see. Like I said, what's up, NG, Alfonso, Isaias Rodriguez. Yeah, what's up, Bonehead? I'm here, SD. What's going on, Steven? Hey, Cole. I'm going to Atlanta, and I do talk sometimes. I just let the road speak for itself. What's up, Isa? Hey, Eamon. I did not download Cheat Engine. I'm not sure what that is. Hey, Vanka. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you from France. Thank you to France. Thank you, buddy. It's true, Vanka. Some professionals are not very professional. Yeah, and that story about El Paso is true. A lot of people were buying their license for $5,000 from the DMV, and a lot of them got into accidents, and that's how the cops found out that they were buying them from the DMV employee illegally. The highway's not all 3x3. A lot of times it's 2x2, 3x3, 4x4, 5x5, 6x6, sometimes even 7x7 or 8x8. Hey, Barbara, what's up? Yeah, I'm parked right before a rest area, because the rest area is likely packed because of what time it is. I'm only going to be here for a couple minutes, then I'm going to hit the road again. Someone parked behind me also taking a break, so that gives me a measure of safety, so that's cool. So instead of really worrying, since he's behind me, he's gonna be my bumper in case someone was to drive recklessly. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, there's corruption everywhere, Vanka, so I hope there's not illegal drivers in France, but there might be. Know that everyone in the EU can go amongst countries freely, so because of that, maybe there's illegal drivers, since like someone may have obtained their CDL, and I'm just using this as an example, Norway, and then went to France to drive a truck, and then the license was obtained illegally in Norway but recognized in France as a real license. So that's possible. I'm not sure if that's a thing, but that could be a possibility, since people get their licenses in one country but drive in another, since the EU is so integrated. Okay, I've been to Paris, but that's it for France, sadly. I will definitely go back someday. I had quite fun in Paris. I went to the Modern Art Museum, and then I went to the Musée Picasso. I think that's what the name was. It was all Picasso. I think there was like 150 or 160 works there, and they were all by Picasso. I'm pretty sure they also had some in the basement. Of course, I also went to the Louvre, so that was great. I do speak some French. I'm not gonna do it in front of a French person right now. It's been a while. I generally get back a lot of my languages when I'm in the country of that language. And I don't want to embarrass myself on YouTube at the moment. Oh my God, you've never seen the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, I went up into the Eiffel Tower, and funny story about the Eiffel Tower. Sorry you haven't seen it, especially since you're French. But funny story about the Eiffel Tower. So I went to Paris alone after I got out of the military, and I was like a semester into college. And I went to the Eiffel Tower, amongst other things. And I'm up there in the Eiffel Tower alone, and there was these 3 American girls there, and I asked them to take a picture of me. Or they asked me to take a picture of them, and I took a picture of them, and then they took a picture of me, etc., etc. And we went to a restaurant about a block and a half, 2 blocks away from the Eiffel Tower. It was still kind of in view. We had dinner, we had drinks. Nothing happened afterwards. We didn't exchange numbers. We didn't exchange email addresses. Nothing. Nothing was exchanged at all. 3 months after I was in Paris, I'm in Manhattan at a bar called Bar None. That bar, you guys can look it up if you want. It's between 12th and 13th Street on 3rd Avenue in Manhattan. It's called Bar None, Barnone. It's like bar none, like so they bar none, so they let everyone in. It was a dive bar in Manhattan, and I'm standing next to the dance floor with one of my friends having a drink, and I see one of the girls I met at the top of the Eiffel Tower in Paris. She looks at me, her jaw drops. Her 2 other friends that I also met at the top of the Eiffel Tower were also there, who we all like hugged and kissed and whatever, and 2 of the girls thought it was fate, like that we like met again after the Eiffel Tower, considering we didn't exchange numbers or emails. And I briefly dated both of those girls, not at the same time, and then that was it. But so that's my Eiffel Tower. That's my Parisian Eiffel Tower story. If I were you, and I came from France to the U.S., I would go to New York. And I'll talk about this for you guys a little another time, but I would just tell you states. You go to New York, Massachusetts, Oregon, Colorado, and Utah. Those would be the top states. So New York, Massachusetts, Oregon, Colorado, and Utah. Obviously, there's some great stuff in other states, but you're going to have a limited amount of time. I would say if you like mountains more than cities, go to Colorado and Utah. I would say if you like forests, go to Oregon or Washington. I would say if you like cities, go to New York and Massachusetts. Chicago is okay when it comes to cities, but it's kind of weird in my eyes. No offense to people from Illinois or Chicago, it just seems weird, and I don't think it's like the best city to visit if you're coming from out of the country, especially. But I've been everywhere in the United States in the lower 48 except for Maine. Yeah, right, Venga. It was a romance movie story. Sadly, it didn't turn out to be what those girls or what I wanted, but it was very cool nonetheless. To meet them in Europe and then see them a couple months later in Manhattan was wild. Okay, so the Grand Canyon is in Arizona. That's also worthy of seeing, but there's just more in the states I told you. So Yellowstone is partly in Wyoming and partly in Montana. It's like in the middle of nowhere. So if you're going to Yellowstone, you're pretty much just going to Yellowstone. There's not much else around there, but if that's what interests you, then do it. But the canyons and rocks in Utah are gorgeous. Colorado, the mountains are amazing. And if you're in shape, Colorado is the place to go in America. Because if you want to climb some mountains or walk some trails, Colorado would be the place. The second thing I would tell you to do is like to go to Pennsylvania or Virginia and then hike part of the Appalachian Trail. So I hike part of the Appalachian Trail whenever I can on the truck. There's places in Pennsylvania and Virginia where I can park and hike the trail, which is awesome. And the Grand Canyon is also pretty close to LA. So it's in Arizona, but it's very close to LA. So if you wanted to do like a Los Angeles visit, you could easily drive to the Grand Canyon or take like a tour bus. Yes, Paris is known to be the love town. When I lived in Spain, so I lived in Tarragona, Spain, for a little bit, for a few months. And the two women I hung out with were Parisian, and they would make fun of all the Spanish women because they said they had no sense of style, and they were always dressed down, and they always made fun of them because they weren't in like designer clothes and like just dressed well or had their makeup right. So that's interesting. I live in Spain, but I hang out with French girls, so I mean it is what it is. So New York, Colorado, Utah, Massachusetts, and Oregon. If I had to put those in order, I would say Colorado, New York, Utah, Oregon, Massachusetts. Yeah, and Area 51. I've been near Area 51, but I've never been there. I was in a dust storm in Nevada in May of 2022 in the truck, and I got out of the truck And my favorite freaking hat. So I was in this really bad dust storm. My truck was getting blown around because I wasn't heavy. I wasn't heavy enough to be driving in those conditions. So I stopped the truck to be safe. And as soon as I got out of the truck, my hat came off my head. My favorite. No, I knew you were joking. My favorite freaking hat was a Yanks hat. Can't even buy it anymore. You can't buy it anymore. They don't make it. So it like flies off my head. I'm like running through the desert at night to find it. Didn't find the hat. Whatever. It's just a hat. I get back in the truck. I'm looking around me, and I was stopped right next to a brothel. So like a house of prostitution, whatever. So I slept the night. I spent the night at, I think it was called like the Area 51. I look this up, guys. I'm sure it's online. If this is truly the name, I think it was like the Area 51 brothel. So it was like it was a house of prostitution that played on the Area 51 name. So I went inside, and not inside the brothel. Jesus, I went inside the. That was funny. I went inside the store next to the brothel, and I bought a little stuffed alien. And on at least one of my shorts, you could see the alien hanging from my from a part of my truck on the windshield, and that's the alien that I bought at the Area 50, like next to the Area 51 brothel. Area 51 is definitely mysterious, Vanka. Most certainly. I just had some salami and some kind of cheese. I'm not sure exactly what kind of cheese it was. Salami, cheese, and crackers. I'm going to take my iced coffee out of my freezer, and then we're going to get going again.
Yeah, of course I remember that. The secret alien spaceships in Area 51. That the crazy redneck flies up to meet the aliens. Sure. Or does he do it in an F-16? Maybe he does it in an F-16, but I know he flies up to meet the alien. Maybe, perhaps he does it in an F-16. Apologies. No, that's a great movie. Beginning in New York, where they're playing, like, the father is playing chess. Yeah, that's a great movie. Then they drive down to D.C. to see the president. Yep. Yep. I used to be a real estate broker. I had an office in Times Square, and so I would meet tourists all the time, and they would ask me like questions about like where to go, what restaurants to do, and stuff like that. And a few times there would be French tourists that would ask me questions about stuff, and I would tell them where to go. One couple in particular asked me to take them out if I had time. So my girlfriend and I took them out in Manhattan, and we went to a couple museums. Went to the Museum of Modern Art, the Museum of Natural History, and an Italian restaurant near Central Park. A Rafale? Is that a French fighter jet? Or are you referring to the alien ships? Alright. I'm getting going, just so you know. Okay, that's cool. I didn't realize there was a French fighter jet called the Rafale. But I'm gonna start driving now, so I'm not gonna be able to read your messages. But that's really cool. I trained with some British Marines and some British Army guys when I was in the U.S. Navy, but I never trained with French soldiers. So. These people are making me nervous. They're way too close to the road. Way too close to the road. Okay, it looks like there's actually parking at this rest area. So I didn't have to stop where I stopped, but sometimes you never know. And since I was just stopping for a few minutes, it's all good. So I was in the Navy for 4 years, Vanka, but that's the last question I can answer. I'm sorry. Wow, there's all these spots here. Just because it's making me wonder if I should stop here for the night, to be honest. What time is it? It's already 8. If I stop now, I could leave at 6. That's funny that I stopped at the in front, and now I might actually sleep here.
Huh. I'm just gonna park for a second and think this through. Parking is a rare commodity out here, so when I see it, I just have to wonder, like, if I should take it. Then later on tonight, like, I don't want to regret not parking here. You know what I mean? Kind of funny that I parked before the rest area and now I might sleep here, but it happens sometimes. Yeah, so I was in the Navy for 4 years. I was a CB SEA. You should look that up. It'll put you down a COVID hole. Again, SEABEE. Yeah, there's a lot of truckers in here. Not as many as there'll be in a couple hours. I'm not sure if I'm going to stay here or not. I'm going to think that through over the next few minutes. It was great talking to you, Vanka. I hope you tune in soon and we can have more chats. I'm going to turn off the stream for now. If I continue on tonight, I'll turn the stream back on. If I sleep here, then I obviously won't, and I'll be back on tomorrow. Thank you, Vanka, and everyone for watching. Yeah, traffic never stops here in the U.S. Again, thank you, Vanka. Thank you so much for watching, and it was a great chat. And I hope to talk to you maybe tomorrow. I'll see you guys possibly tonight, definitely tomorrow. Thanks again for watching. See you soon. Bye, guys. Hey, Vanka, good night. Mercy, good night.